I gotta do an introduction for you because like you do so much. Like there's not like like we wanted to be like okay like activists because I feel like that like kind of summarizes everything that you do. But you do so fucking much. Like
I have to type on my computer everything that I do.
Yeah, and this is like what you do currently. It's not like what you used to do. Because if we add what you used to do, the list is like a fucking novel of like hats that you wear. But like you're like first of all, you're like probably one of my biggest inspirations in life in general.
That's
like
crazy.
I feel so glad every day. Thank you, God, that I know Congo. Like you're like a not famous. You're like a not famous Snoop Dogg. Like you'll be at one place and then we'll go to the next place and you were already there 2 hours.
Yo, Tanner told me that I was famous the other day. I was like, what?
T Lion, yeah. He told you were famous.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Major.
What?
The most favorite. You're the fucking mayor of Charlotte.
Oh
like not even. You're the princess of Congo, the mayor of Charlotte. You're an activist for one.
Yes.
I've learned a lot from you. I've protested with you, as a matter of fact, and I would love to again. And I'm sure you have a lot you want to talk about when it comes to the ongoing war in Congo. You also are an artist, an incredible fucking artist at that I have a whole project with that. There's still so many songs under the rug that need to come out.
I need a Rizgo mix. I need a Rizgo show mix immediately.
Yeah, we need to get that going for sure. And then you got, you do hair. You're just an all-around hustler. You fix cars, sell cars. You whitened my teeth one time, like
yeah.
you do that. You go in the rest. I can't even keep up with everything you got going on.
Yeah, public notary, founder of a nonprofit organization, Ishango Congo.
Okay.
Like you said, I whiten teeth though. What else do? I need to look at the list on my computer.
And then you got an amazing story too, like just a story of like they already heard a little bit of it just now, but then like. Also, just like a growth and development. You're super involved in the church. You're like,
I'm not gonna lie. I ain't been in church in like 5 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Girl, you need to see our Passion with the Pastor episode.
I feel like you did.
I did. Once I seen the y'all dropped a snippet of one of the questions that you had asked him. I went to go watch the rest of the video because I'm like, what kind of I want to know what kind of pastor this is.
Right. Like definitely religion was like something that like definitely that episode definitely opened up a lot of like insight just into the concept of religion. But aside from that, what I wanted to ask about you was what, if you don't mind, talk about like a little bit of the activist work you do. I'm curious about that.
So I go by Congo because I'm from the Congo.
Okay.
This activist work that I do.
Yes, ma'am.
So one thing that brought me here, my family here, and probably everybody that's from the Congo here is, of course, opportunities, but also refuge. Seeking refuge in another country means it's not safe where you're from. Right. And in Congo, it's not safe. In Congo, it's like a lot of people here take for granted the life that they have. Like, yeah, you could walk outside the door in America and get shot, but it's very common every single day in Africa that you are going to go out and probably not come back to your family, that as a woman, you're going to go out and get raped. Like women in Africa, they probably go to the marketplace around 4 a.m., 6 a.m. in the morning when everybody's asleep for their safety. Walking around, half naked with your ass cheeks out. Like my mom would always say, like back home, somebody would take a scissors and cut that and you would be fucked, literally. Like literally.
Quite literally.
But it's a big political issue, and it's like the puppet master, And the same issue is happening here in the United States, but it's to a greater scale in Africa, and that's just genocide against black people killing black people. In Africa is in Congo specifically, it's Rwanda and it's Congo, and those are two border countries, kind of like South Carolina, North Carolina. So if we were to go to war here, just to give a correlation to it, it would be like Mexico going to war with the United States. Mm-hmm. And so what fuels this war is the minerals that's in Congo. There is a saying in Congo that everybody knows that when God created the world, that he dropped all his diamonds and his minerals in Congo, because Congo is smack dab in the middle of Africa. It is on the equator, very, very hot. And it's not rare to see a diamond. It's not rare to find cobalt and like other minerals that are used in a trade route. But the people there, they're driven by greed, just like the people here, the African Americans here as well, driven by greed. It's like a who got the most money contest. And so with that being said, that's when it goes to a greater war. You have the United Nations, who is a part of the trade route. And Congo used to be colonized by the Europeans until Mobutu Sese Seko, which is one of the presidents, he came in, and Congo gained their independence on June 30th, which was Congolese Independence Day. On that Independence Day, he kicked out every white person in the Congo had to go back to where they came from. Anybody in the Congo that had a European name, he changed it to a Congolese name immediately. Okay. Like, he basically made the country great again. But Europe wasn't going to give up that easy.
Never did.
But then again, they knew that they didn't want to go to war with the Africans. So that's when the game of the puppetry began. The same way that they put crack in the hood in the 80s is the same way that they put guns in Africa. So they're like, we're just going to get them to kill each other and then go in and get the diamonds. And so for greed purposes, Rwanda went with the bait. You know, they put they took a poor man and made him president for the right price. As long as he does what they say, he will stay in power. Power is also another thing that drives them to do what they do. They fueled them with guns and to go cause terror and war in Congo, but that terror and war is the distraction. It's what they want the people to focus on so that they can go and get the minerals. They go and they say they send in troops to help, but Congo's not getting any help. We're getting robbed. What they're helping to do is help rob us for the minerals. The things that we use to make Tesla, the things that we use, not we, but the things that the United States use to make iPhones, it all comes from Congo. You're not going to find that here. But you don't see nobody driving a Tesla in Congo. You don't see a lot of people with iPhones in Congo. We are stripped from that. If you look at the global scale of things, Congo is the third poorest country in the world. But why would a country that was like blessed with so many riches be so poor? And it just goes back to greed. Yeah. It's all a money game. It's all a puppet game.
Yeah, and see, like, this is something that's been going on. How long has this been going on?
It's been going on for over 70 years. I can tell you that.
And you never hear about it. You rarely ever hear about it on the news. Sometimes maybe social, not even. Like, I know a lot of people have no clue about any of this. And that's one of the reasons why I went marching with you, because it's just like, this needs to be said. This needs to be put out there. People need to be knowing about this. Because this is a big deal.
People definitely need to be knowing about this, because from a greater scale of things, the truth is that we all play a part in it. We are all a part of this chain. And it just goes back to something as simple as holding an iPhone. Like, people had to die for you to hold that iPhone. Kids had to go mining, and mining is not an easy job. Especially, like I said, Congo's on the equator. It's very, 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 very hot. It's not an easy job. People die of starvation. When you don't want to work, they will kill you.
Caves collapse.
Definitely caves collapse. And then on top of that, it's also a greed thing. Like, let's say you have a family to feed and you think you want to put a diamond in your pocket. You better think again, because you're gone. You're not going back home to your family. And one thing, the difference between Africa and the United States has a middle class. Back home, there is no middle class. You're either very, very, very rich, or you're very, very, very dirt broke poor. And a lot of the people that are working, that are suffering, is that poor class right there.
Right. So we're going to get back into all that, but tell me about you for a bit. Like, tell me about you being born in Congo and moving here.
Okay. So I came here when I was really young. And when I came here, I started off in a refugee camp. That camp is known to most people as 17 Ministries. I won't talk down on them, but they didn't have the best intentions. We were kind of like their poster kids. We were definitely like their poster kids. But, you know, my mom always reminds us and tells us, like, the reason that we moved here is so that we can have a better opportunity. It's because there was no hope left for us back home in Congo. Like, our family, even family became corrupted, you know. And so moving here was hard at first because, you know, it wasn't cool to be African. You grew up here, you was an African booty scratcher. I went to an international elementary school, Mary Oaks Elementary School. A lot of the kids there did not speak English. It was a majority of like Nepali kids, Burmese kids, African kids, and Hispanic kids. And so it was there that I learned how to speak English. But the type of English that I learned was not the good English. The type of English that I learned was like ghetto English.
What?
Like,
how did that play
what does that
out?
sound like?
Yeah, what is that like?
Like, girl, my mama told me that she, like, don't play with it.
Girl.
You know, you become a product of your environment.
Absolutely.
And that's sort of definitely what happened to me, especially like, I would never say that I was ripped away from my roots, but that the truth was I was ripped away from my roots and I lost who I was, and becoming a product of the environment, becoming a product of East Charlotte. Mm-hmm. It led me to a bad road, a dark road, a road of poor decision making, a road of poverty that led me to, you know, go and get money by any means. By any means is like by robberies, by putting other people low, because you know, because I'm Congolese, I have kind of a savage mindset. So yeah, you know, the Nigerians scam, but the Congolese, we kind of like rob you, rough you up.
Get it and go.
Yeah, like it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more gutter. So that led me. That led me to being thrown around as a system child. I'm not gonna lie to you. My family had to move. Actually, our house burnt down here while I was still in elementary school. Wow. Our house burnt down, and we had to start at zero again. But you know, being from Congo, that ain't nothing to start from zero. We started from zero, so we would just do it again. We ended up moving to Chester, South Carolina. In Chester, South Carolina, I was still a problem child, but I reached my peak because I was a teenager by then. That's where I became a teenager at. And by 14, I already found myself in DJJ juvenile justice system for an attempted murder. So I spent a lot of time there from 14 to like, I want to say 15. That was my first ever bid. I did a year. And then I got out, went back to school. I got kicked out of more than 7 schools. And so my mom and dad was like, we got to move, because I wasn't allowed to go to no school in the state of South Carolina, and education is a big thing for them. So it's like, we got to move.
Back to zero.
Yeah, back to zero. And I always felt like it was because of me. I always had that heaviness on me, like, dang, my family can't prosper because of me. And the truth was, it was because of me and my decision. So when we moved again, we moved back to Charlotte, where I was sent to Turning Point. On the 3rd day, I got kicked out again. Because I got in a fight, but I picked up a pencil and hit the girl in her neck, if you know what I'm saying.
Damn.
Right. So my dad was just like, you know what? Like, I'm done. Like, I just can't do it with you. Like, you a demon possessed. You got to get out of my house. And so I started my life alone around 15. That's when, at first I was placed in a group home, but that was not going to satisfy me. So I ran away from the group home. When I ran away from the group home, I thought I fell in love, guys. I thought I fell in love with a broke nigga.
Tell me about this.
And like, I never really said this on camera or anything, but let me tell you just how broke of a nigga this was, right?
Go on.
Okay, so I ran away from the group home to go stay with this broke man. And during that time, I used to steal cars. I was in Grand Theft Auto. I lived my life like GTA. I always had a car because I knew if I didn't have a house, I could have a car to sleep in. So I was literally stealing cars weekly, going to jail like monthly. Like, I would get out of jail, go back, get in, go back, robbing people, robbing stores, like hotel to hotel, even to the point where like I was following this nigga so broke. I was sleeping bando to bando, like kicking down doors. And for those of you that don't know what a bando is, it's an abandoned house. Like, I was sleeping on cold floors in an abandoned house for the sake of love. And it wasn't even real love. just to find myself 16 years old. I basically was like running around the streets broke doing hot shit for a year and a half.
With this broke nigga. That's the key thing, y'all, with this broke nigga.
Yeah. I found myself 16 years old in front of a judge. The judge telling me my bond is denied, sitting in jail for first degree murder, telling me that I would never see the light of day again. Ooh. And that's just off of poor decision making, just off of,
Did that scare the hell out of you?
Nah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm kind of fearless.
I feel it.
And because I went through that experience in DJJ at a young age for a year, I hate to say it like this, but the truth is, like, I was built for it. Like, the confinement never did anything to me. And the truth was, it brought me to a place of peace, because the life that I was living outside of jail, it was not good. Them cold nights, them robbing people, stabbing people in the back, may have to look over my shoulder in case somebody recognized me, shootouts, not sleeping, getting high. Like, that life, I had no peace of mind for that life at all. So the fact that I got locked up and I had a bed to lay in, that shit right there was better to me than anything else. Like, I felt like there was no purpose in my life, no motive. Like, I don't know what I'm doing here.
How old are you at this time?
I'm 22.
No, how old are you, like, then? Like, when this was going on?
16, 17, 18. Like, when I sat down in jail, or when I was dating a broke nigga?
In jail.
Oh, 16. I was like halfway, 16 going on 17. And then I sat down 17, had my 18th birthday, moved to the county, had my 19th birthday. And then when I turned, was it 20? When I turned 20 is when God just did a miracle, because I didn't know I was getting out there. I got out and blessed me to see the light of day, reunited me with my family. And after that, I couldn't take my life for granted. I couldn't take my family for granted either.
Because I was going to say, okay, all this was happening, how we go from you ain't about to see a life of date again to being on our podcast today.
Oh, wait, let me
something happened.
Definitely something happened. So when I first got locked up in juvenile justice, I had no support system or anything in that nature. My family wasn't talking to me, haven't spoken to them for like 2 years since I've been on the streets. There was this rule: we couldn't read any books.
Wait, like in jail?
Yeah.
You couldn't read in jail?
In juvenile, no. Like, we couldn't read any books.
Not even like there wasn't like during like a certain amount of hours or anything like that?
You could read books when you go to school, but because I had already graduated and had my high school diploma, I didn't go to school.
Oh, so you couldn't, you weren't allowed to read.
Yeah,
so how did they think you was going to keep your education or something?
I had it. I had that's one thing I messed up at, like graduating high school early. Because I got bullied, I forced myself to, and I was very intelligent, but I used my intelligence for the wrong things. But I finished high school at 15 years old.
That's what's up.
And then I just had a whole bunch of free time to do dumb shit. Like,
so what was your day like in jail?
So I got locked up before COVID. And I was a female offender, and it's not a lot of those here in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I was in a pod by myself. The whole time I was locked up. I would basically say solitary confinement, because anybody locked up after me was exposed to COVID, so they could not come in the same pod as me. So my day-to-day life, when I first got there, the first 2 weeks I starved. Like, to the point of death. They put me on suicide watch, and like they had to put insulin in me so I wouldn't die in their eyes or whatever.
Oh my God.
But then guards, like, they had compassion, and they used to bring me food because like they knew I wasn't eating. So they would bring me food on the sly, and I would eat it just for survival basis. And I was angry with God. But the only book that I could have in that room for some reason was a Bible.
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah.
Was a Bible. And I'd never been a person to sit down and watch TV ever. So even when the day room would open, I would always close my door. Like, I'm not coming out. I don't want, it's nothing to talk about. I had a mindset of my life is over. Like, this is where I'm spending the rest of my life. You get locked up for something as serious as first degree murder. You don't expect to get out. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna get a bond tomorrow and get out. No,
right.
Like,
something as serious as that. Yeah.
I in my head, I prepare myself for life. So I closed the door every day for maybe like the first 3 months. I didn't come out. And so then that's when I started coming out. I was very angry, still had trauma in me. So, there's no other inmates to fight. So I will fight the CEO. I'll fight the grown ass woman that's in there with me. They had to call the man down, button on me, restrain me. I threw pencil sharpeners at them. Like I was a problem child. And just so I could get on lockdown, because they started forcing me to come out. So I would do things that would get me like in the hole. I'm already by myself, so.
Yeah, make a difference.
Right. In the hole so that I could stay in my room by myself. And so I don't know if it was curiosity, boredom, or what. The only book in there to read was the Bible. So I literally read the Bible from front to back.
Wow.
And once I did that, like supernatural things started happening. God started speaking to me. Mm-hmm. Like I would actually hear from him. And I was like being told like to forgive. I was being told where I let certain spirits in me that wasn't supposed to be in me. I was being told like, I'm going to give you your last second chance. But like I'm preparing you, I'm preserving you, because like during this time it's crazy because God did a sweep, bro. Every person that I hung out with, we call ourselves MBK, the mobile kickback crew.
I like that.
We was always mobile in the stolo. It was always kickbacks. We was a crew. But literally, Samari died at 16. This all happened in the same week. Me and my brother got locked up for murder. The broke nigga that I was with, he got locked up for a robbery. Samari, she died from running from the police, got in a car accident. The car exploded as soon as like they crashed out. Right. My cousin, she ended up getting pregnant, so like she could not be out in the streets no more. She had to sit down. My other friend, I ain't gonna say her name because we ain't cool right now.
So like all these external relationships you had connections with started to seem like they was either like settling down or like fading away from you.
Yeah, like God did a sweep, literally.
Yeah,
and
it's a whole sweep.
It was crazy because when Samari died, I haven't heard from my family in like 3 years or something. Like not even like 2 years. I had got a letter in the mail from my mom, and she was like writing in the letter how she was crying and praising God because God showed her a dream that I was supposed to die in a car accident, and she just saw on the news that my best friend died in a car accident.
That is so
Wow.
trippy.
And so she was like, I thank God that you in jail. If you think that I'm mad at you, I'm not.
You.
Yeah, I thank God like you are sitting there safe. Like you're sitting there with your life. So I just turned to God more. What was the initial question?
Well,
how did I get out?
Oh yeah, that's all about.
How did I get out?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was the big? And it seems like you was working up to. I mean, because with the Bible, and it seemed like you developed or had a closer relationship with God at that point.
Yeah. When you thrown in a little cell like that, you thrown in there with nothing but your faith. That's something nobody can ever take away from you, and that's your faith.
Amen to that.
And so, I grew up, turned 18, went to the big dog jail, but was around other women and things of that nature, turned 19. It's crazy because the day I got out, the day before I got out, I just attempted suicide. I told God I'm done. Like, I don't got no fight left in me. I don't got no joy left in me. This can't be it for me. I'm done. So I attempted suicide. The reason I didn't succeed is because one of the CEOs was doing her rounds, and something just told her, come to my door. She came to my door. She seen me hanging there, and she cut me down immediately. She held me. She started crying. She called everybody. She called the pastor to start praying for me. But I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. And I have a very strong relationship with the sheriff of the city, Gary McFadden, who runs the whole entire jail. So there was something he said once I moved to the big jail, which was I'm not allowed to go to the hole. So instead of sending me to the hole on suicide watch, they kept a watch on me in the room, checking up on me, and left my door open. The next day, the CEO was like, pack your stuff, you're moving pods. So I'm thinking I'm going to a different pod. The ladies, I've been there so long, I have a relationship with everybody. Mm-hmm. So they're crying like, no, Congo. Well, I wasn't Congo then, but they're like, no, Avoki, maniac, no.
Maniac.
Yeah, and I'm like, I promise I'll be back.
Girl got a whole reputation.
I didn't know they used to call you maniac.
I was maniac. I'm like,
that's kinda cool though.
I promise I'll be back. Like, I'll just fight somebody and come back. But to my surprise, I went downstairs. I put on the clothes that no longer fit me anymore, and I walked out to see my dad standing there. And
when you were putting your clothes on, did you already know something was happening? Or
I thought maybe they was transferring me back to juvenile because they took my case out of superior court, so I was moving jails. I thought I was moving jails.
Okay,
I didn't think I was going home.
Yeah.
Especially since I just tried to off myself. I thought maybe because I did that's why they were moving me back over there.
How long was it between the time you tried to off yourself and you getting out?
The next day.
Really?
The next day.
Wow.
The next fucking day.
Wow. So had she not stopped and checked, you would have never gotten out of there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's how the devil works. When you're very, very close, he gonna try his best to make sure you don't make it. And that was really his best, honestly, because I didn't know I was that damn close.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know.
It's always right before you have something big is when the devil tries his best to get at you.
Yes, and that's when your emotions become so heightened.
Right.
And then to you, it feels like the best thing to do is that, but then you don't realize that
the next thing coming is right there. It's right there.
It's right there.
And so
that just gave me chills.
I had when I was transferred to Superior Court, I had another bond hearing, and they set my bond at what was it? Probably what was my bond?
Like another courthouse or something?
Yeah, at another courthouse, but it was a very high amount that I thought was never going to be paid. I don't want to. They say it was $1 million, but I want to. It was close to $1 million.
Damn.
It's a first degree murder charge. Yeah. She just gave me that bond to be funny, like on some bitch you ain't never getting out. You know what I'm saying? She gave me that bond to be funny.
It's kind of like whenever they sentence somebody and they give them 300 years. Like
yeah, like I'm not even gonna live that long. You're just doing this to be funny.
For real?
Yeah.
She said that.
No, she didn't say that, but
that's what she was
it was basically like $1 million bond that I thought would never going to be paid. But
so they just kind of like.
No, my dad is he's a great example of the type of man that I want in this life. He believes anything is possible. You cannot tell him that anything that he sets his mind on, he's not going to do it. And he set his mind on, it wasn't even bringing me home because we had a horrible relationship, but he set his mind on making his wife happy. And so he worked hard. He talked to bondsmen, different bondsmen, more than 100 bondsmen, just trying to make payments and do this. And there was one bondsman by the name of Nico. Nico had a daughter. He heard the story. He's seen it on the news. He'd been following on it for a long time. And so to meet the parents of who the little girl actually was that was on the news, it touched his heart. And he was like, if you give me $20,000, I can get your daughter out. And so my dad hustled, bustled, sold the house, his house, put the house in South Carolina for collateral to get me out of jail for a Mother's Day gift for my mom.
Oh,
wow.
So yeah.
But if his goal was to make your mother happy, how did he personally feel about getting you out?
How did he feel? I mean, I know he cried because I'm daddy's little girl. I'm not going to lie. The reason that our relationship was so rough is because, you can't hate nobody unless you once loved them. And if you can, have anger and animosity for somebody very deep, that means that the love was very, very deep. So when I got out, I know he was happy, but he wasn't a man of emotion. I know he was happy, but what made him even happier was to see that I actually changed, because this wasn't the first time me in and out. I've been in and out of jail, and every time I came out, I did the same shit. I did not change. I went back to the same thing, went back to the same shit, doing the same drugs, out here still and doing this. But this time, what made him happy was to see that I actually changed. As soon as I got out, bro, I applied for college. I applied for college. It was a rough stone at first because me and my dad still wasn't seeing eye to eye because he didn't believe that I changed. It takes a second to lose somebody's trust, and I already lost his trust. And it takes years to gain it back. Mm-hmm. So it was a journey that was going to take years to gain back his trust. So I ended up getting kicked out the house again. But this time I was determined not to go back to the same things. So I started working. I got me an apartment on Independence. I applied for college, not thinking that I was going to get in. I'm just applying because I need a game plan. Mm-hmm. And I got accepted into East Carolina University. And I took, it's crazy because I didn't know I got accepted. Like, let me tell you, let me tell you what happened. I just checked my email. I don't know why, because I don't check my email. I just check my email.
On a whim.
Yeah. And it was like, hey, Senge, we missed you in class for the past week. I'm like, missed me in class? What the hell? Like, what the hell? She was like, if you can, please come to the office before we drop you by tomorrow. I call my mentor because that's my village. I met my mentor while I was incarcerated, and she stuck beside me ever since. And my dad kicked me out, so I couldn't call them. I called her. I'm like, yo, I think I just got accepted into college. I sent her the email. She was like, pack your stuff. I'm coming to get you. We are traveling there. You have to be there tomorrow.
Who was this?
Tijuana Brown, City Council Lady Tijuana Brown.
Yeah.
And she said, pack your stuff. I'm coming to get you. We are going tomorrow. And so, yep, I traveled 4 hours to Greenville, got my dorm, unpacked everything that I had, and I started a new life there. I went by my middle name. I went by Senge. And yeah, and I started over. It felt good to start over.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Like, nobody knows me for anything that I did in the past here. Nobody knows nothing. I can start over. I called my mom. I FaceTime her. I told her, like, yo, I'm in college. She's like, where are you? I'm in college.
None of them even know you were even going in the first place. Yeah.
Bro, she go and she told my dad. That's like the second time in my life I ever seen my dad start crying. He started crying because one reason he kicked me out is because I wasn't going to college. I wasn't doing anything with my life. And so to see, and I was trying to tell him while we were arguing, like, I'm trying, like, I've been trying to fill out applications, but when people see first degree murder, they don't fucking want you. Yeah. Like, they don't fucking want you. The fuck?
I mean, nothing against it, but yeah, they ain't going
for it.
Over somebody without a first degree murder charge?
Right. I'll take the nigga with the 2.0. Like, he ain't dropping no bodies. Back if she graduated at 15, fuck that. That bitch is lethal.
2.0.
That bitch is lethal. Right.
With a 4.0.
But you've always made it work, though.
Man, God always made it work.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
I ain't do none of that. That was literally him. He started crying. And that's when I was in college is when I regained that relationship with my dad again. We started doing business with each other again like that. I was going home every weekend because I just love my family. And the reason I love them is because of the time that I spent apart from them. So it's just like I have time to make up on the back end. That's why I love my family so much, because I was not always there. It was a time when I was out running the streets. My mom couldn't walk. She was in a wheelchair. My mom got into a motorcycle accident because she crazy like me. But she was riding motorcycles, and she got ran over by an 18-wheeler that put her in a coma for 3 years.
Ooh. How long ago was this?
This was when this was before we was born.
Oh, wow.
But
And
she still had kids.
Right. They told her that she couldn't, but she had 5 of them home.
Wow.
She did.
That's a whole nother story. Wow.
She did.
Wow.
She did. But then she couldn't walk. And so when I saw my mom walking, bro, it's like I always say this, but when you see somebody believe in God, like to the depth that some like I do, you got to understand that person has been through something and able to know God in order to know God the way that they know God. Yeah. And so it's just like I always say, nobody could tell me that this man is not real.
Right.
Nobody.
Right.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I don't
and
care.
that's what God does to people. It's such a blessing and a miracle thing. But what made you personally want to change?
The truth was, bro, my mom tears.
Oh,
knowing that I caused all that pain on somebody that loved me unconditionally like nobody else ever would. Certain times when my family disowned me and disclaimed me, my mom will always try to find a way to check up on me, always try to find a way to call me on Messenger. Even when my dad banned her from talking to me, she still always made sure to find a way to talk to me. That's a love. Like I always, the women that I was incarcerated with always told me, like, when you lose your mom, that's a different type of hurt right there.
Yeah.
That's a different type of hurt. So it's just like they also taught me and put that battery in my back that, listen, when God give you that last second chance, you don't take that woman for granted. Because it was certain times, like I was a I was a crackhead for real. I would steal from my mom piggy bank to buy drugs and shit, like break into the house and take from her. And she told me now that I'm older, like she knew it was me the whole time. Like certain times she would put extra money in there just to make sure that I was okay, that I didn't have to go do anything I didn't want to do for money. So to know the pain that I caused from her, that's what sparked my change, honestly. Even nowadays, like I will always call her like I'm okay, like randomly, especially when I'm laid out at night. I'm okay, I'm alive, I'm okay, I'm alive, I'm on the way, I'm this, because I don't want her to cry, I don't want her to worry, I don't want to take her love for granted.
I love that.
Sure. Yeah, something about hurting mom, like, you know, it's one thing when you make dad mad and you make dad upset, you know, that hurts, but mom,
yeah,
it's just like it's a different
the one who
feeling.
literally popped you out.
Right. I had to go through so much pain to get you here. And to know that I'm putting you even through more and more and more. It's just like, that's not okay.
Right.
That's not okay.
Right. So we get to you being in college, and what happens next?
You know, you just go through this thing called life. You're always going through it. So like I said, no college wants anybody on first degree murder. So it's a crazy story, funny, crazy. I made it to like 2 years of college. I'm going into my sophomore year. Shit just popped off. I just came out the closet. Congo was created at East Carolina University in college. Recorded Welcome to America. Met this rich white man named Dave. Got me like out here in a Sprinter recording with Sony. Like I'm missing school. Welcome to America. One thing that it says is 8 days a week I ain't had no sleep. I didn't have any sleep. I was off of Adderall in the studio, from studio, state to state, airport to airport. Congo was born.
Because you always told me music chose you.
Yeah, Congo was born. And it was crazy because, you know, when I was in jail, I used to write a lot of music. Music always been in me. The same way nobody could take my faith, nobody could take music from me. I just be bopping stuff in my head. That's not a sound, but it's in my head. And the point is, I went to go support Alma. That's the feature on Welcome to America, the one you just met. I went to go support her at a showcase because she does music. And I love music. And she didn't think I was going to support, because, you know, people, I'm going to show up, I'm going to support her. They don't. I do. If any artist was to literally, like, text me, like, hey, can you come support me? I actually am going to come support you.
I know, because she's done this for me, like a few times.
I don't care if I'm not gaining anything. I'm actually going to do it. Each one teach one. But I went to go support her. The showcase was at a studio. No question, no doubt in mind. Nobody's energy was matching mine. To the point where it was her song, and you know, I told her send me the song so when I get there I can know it. I'm hyping you up. Right. I knew the song so well. The DJ passes me the mic while she's recording, and he's like hype her up, like, dude, pop your shit. So I'm singing with her. I'm in everybody's face. I've never performed before, so I'm just in everybody's face because that's just who I am. Like, I love music. Like, I don't be outside. Yeah.
The most confident person I've ever met in my life. Like,
it's the confidence comes from a big bowl of I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But
that's why I love it.
But yeah, dope vibe, dope energy, dope night. So the night was so dope that I've been in my room and my college cell writing shit, but I never found a studio to record it. I've been searching up studios, but I never found one. But tonight I'm in one. Ain't no way I'm gonna give up this chance and not lay this track down. Right. So I find the man that owned the studio, my stripper friend with me, right? You know, my stripper friend.
About,
yeah, because we was in Raleigh, because I had just dropped her off to the strip club, and I was like, now I'm not gonna stay at the club with you. I'm gonna go see Alma because she in Raleigh at the studio. I go to my stripper friend. I'm like, bro, let me get $50. You know, then I go to this crackhead man named Steven. I'm like, Steven, let me get $50. Because, you know, when you're in college, you're broke. Steven gave me $50. I call my mom. I'm like, can I get $50? She sent me the $50. I had $150. I said, I want 3 hours in this bitch right now. He said, he's like, I can't book you right now. You know, everybody gonna be here. I said, I don't care about people being here. They can stay in here. I want 3 hours right now. He was like, oh, you determined. Oh, you like that, homie. He was like, all right. Matter of fact, since you gonna do that, I'm gonna look out for you. I'm gonna give you 4 hours for the price of 3. I said, bet that shit up. Cash out him $150, send Deuce the beat, and that's where I made In the R. Motherfuckers heard me spit that shit, and life changed after that. They was like, who is she? Who is she? Who is she? I didn't want to tell them my name was Maniac because I let that hoe go. So
like that, we know.
Right. Next thing you know, like they know that I came to support Alma. So instead of asking me, they went to the source. They went to her. They're like, who is she? I'm like, that's Congo. Because she didn't know my name. I just met her a couple days ago. But she knew I was from the Congo. So she was like, oh, that's Congo. And so I'm like, I like the ring of that.
Right.
And to this day, you're Congo.
Yeah. So this is where I went through some shit. I was blowing up out there in college, you know. So I ended up opening up for Tootsie because he came down there. Did a whole show. Opening up for Tootsie, had dancers and things of that nature. The next day I went to go to sleep in my dorm. I woke up and my car was getting towed. Now, mind you, my car has been towed like more than 20 times within the past month.
In the past month?
Yeah, that's because I refused to park at the student park. It's too far. I was tired. I was high. I just want to park.
They know your car by face.
Yeah, they do. They know, Lil Yoda. I was fed up. And it's like each time I have to pay $300 to get it out. And it's like, bro. Last time even my stripper friend had to call her mom and ask her for money so that we can get the car out. Because, you know, that's her ride to work. So she putting in on the tow, too. This day I just wasn't going for it. I was just like, fuck this shit. I goddamn see him towing my shit. I grab my keys. I don't got no shoes. I run out there. I push the fucking man. Turns out he was deaf, but who gives a fuck? I pushed the man. My shit was on the tow truck. I start that shit up and I drove it off the tow truck through the trees. U-turn. I didn't know that the police was already there. So the police was there. The police started chasing me.
What?
But like, this is where I got away. There was a dumpster, like a dump truck backing up to like get the trash that was going to block out the alleyway. I sliced through that motherfucker like Fast and Furious. I lost the rear view mirror along the way, but nigga, I lost the police too. I had them hit the corner. I'm on the sidewalk headed towards I gotta get the fuck out of here.
You in the whole Fast and Furious movie for real?
Right, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I go duck that shit off in the back of Alma house. I go duck that shit off in the back of Alma house. I put on my Muslim gear and I walk to class like nothing ever happened. Like my alibi was I was in class the whole time because I was there to take the test. I made it to school. Regardless, I made it to school.
See, that was a whole nother character right there.
I made it to school. So then, the police was looking around campus, the city for the car and for the driver, and they blamed it on some one girl that was a track star at ECU because she was dark skinned like me or whatever. They blamed it on her.
Oh wow!
But don't say damn, because I'm not gonna say too much because I'm over it now. But somebody definitely leaked my name. And with that being said, that got me looked into, and they looked into my record. And so I got a letter while I was on the run. I got a letter from ECU saying they're charging me with this, and I'm kicked out of school because I lied on my application and I have a 1st-degree murder charge. I'm a danger to the students on campus. So I'm banned from campus and I'm no longer allowed to come back to ECU premises. If I'm caught on the premises, then I'll go to jail. And I also had to turn myself in at Pitt County Jail for the charges that I just committed. So I'm like, damn, I never thought I would be going back to jail, God, but I have to go back?
Damn.
I ain't go back. I went on the run. I was in a little Mexican van.
And that's when we met.
Yeah.
Fast forward today.
I didn't know that until a year later, but yeah.
That's definitely what I meant because I went to Audio Box that day.
Yeah.
I went to Audio Box that day because I'm like, at this point, if I ain't got school, I ain't got shit, I'm on the run, I gotta go back to jail. I'm gonna do music until they get my ass. I'm gonna be like NBA Youngboy out this bitch. So I went to Audio Box. I met Riz, AJ, Stacks, a whole bunch of people that night. But something about Riz and Stacks stood out to me. Like something in my spirit told me they're gonna be big one day. They're gonna be big one day. Support everything that they fucking do. So that's just what I did from there. Probably a month into the run, my good OG friend, he told me, be wise. They're gonna get you eventually. Just go ahead and turn yourself in. So I ended up turning myself in Pitt County. I cried because I had to go back to jail. And I thought I'll never go back to jail. That wasn't the end of it. God graced me that day. I didn't have to go back for long because I had I could sign myself out. So I signed myself out of jail.
Oh, that's right. Real quick.
Yeah. I signed myself out. But then that's when bells started ringing. Because I was bonded out, I was I what do you call it? I guess I broke the conditions of my bond. And so they sent me an email. Just when I thought life was getting good again, they sent me an email saying they want to revoke your bond and send you back to jail, like sit down on the murder because you're doing too much out here. So I'm like, damn. So I was going crazy with music. I was like, you know what, God? It's a possibility I may have to go back, but I'm not going to regret anything. I'm going to use my freedom for something that makes me happy, and that's music. I was literally doing showcases every day. Shout out to AJ Cloud because he is not a gatekeeper. He is the one that put me on. Yeah. Like, he texts me every showcase. Like, AJ texts me like, yo, Congo, here's one. Yo, Congo, here's another one. Yo, Congo, here's another one. I was there. I was there for it. And, yeah, Congo started like that. And then the day of my court case came, and I've been praying. God had his decision already made. I told him, whatever happens in this courtroom, I'm going to be happy regardless. Like, whether I go back, whatever, I'm going to be happy regardless. My mom was worrying, thinking I was going to go back. I did too. The judge decided to put me on 24-hour ankle monitor arrest. And that's kind of like where I'm at today. I still have the monitor on. But God did me right by doing that, though, because when I was doing what I thought was best for me, I was on a path to destruction. The industry is very energy consuming, and the ones who are getting fed off of is the artist. Yes. So it's like I had to take a step back because with this ankle monitor, I got to stand on business. I can only go to school. I can only go to work. I can only go to church. And so those are three places I spend most of my time in. And that's when Rizzy made an idea to execution happen in a short amount of time, and Ray Recordings was born. And he gave me a job as an engineer. He taught me everything I know.
A lot of people don't know is that we really couldn't have had this studio without you. Like, the way you put this thing together, like me and you, because you didn't even get into the fact that before that was when we started working on Rizzo
at the house.
And at my apartment, and we were just working on that like for hours during the day, at night.
Oh yeah.
And then after that, like around the time before we were supposed to drop it was when I got the opportunity to get the spot. And without any hesitation, you came and helped build the entire thing, put it all together.
That's what's up.
I always tell Riz that he inspires me a lot because I've been around a lot of people that talk about what they want to do, but Riz was the first person in my circle that I could actually say talked about it and made that shit happen. It was the only person, and it was a point in my life where I was evaluating the people around me, and I'm like, the only one that I can learn something from, that I've been learning something from, is Riz. Like, that's the only person that it sounds weird what I'm about to say, but that's the only person that's better than me right now.
Oh, you don't get no. Because at the same time, like, I learned so much shit from you though. Like, I can't begin to tell you how many times there's been something I'm questioning in my life, something that's going on that I'm just unsure about. And then you'll call me out of the blue, like, I have to tell you about this. And it'll answer like every question I had. And I'll tell you like what's going on. And you'll be like, see, what it is X, Y, Z. And it's like, this is God talking to me. Like, this is literally like God putting this in you for you to tell me.
And that's what happens. Thing what we were talking about earlier with like energies, like it's all that, God does a sweep. He did it. It's so crazy. He works in a mysterious way. At the same time, he was doing a sweep for you, was putting stuff together in his life, getting rid of people, putting stuff together in my life, getting rid of people, all for hell, even probably this moment right now. You know what I'm saying? Everything.
And this moment will live long forever. That's the best thing about it. That's the best thing about the camera, the memory storage, the cobalt that comes from the source, Congo. It's a forever, because even when we're gone, it's still going to be here. Long live Sully, but his music is still here. His podcast episodes is still here. Yep. Like, that's what we have left to remember him. And this is what everybody's going to have left to remember us.
That's true. That's very true. And, there was a time, I can tell you, I think I did tell you about this already, but it was somebody, I won't say his name right now, who was just being super fucking judgmental about you one time. Like, talking about, she got an ankle monitor on this and that. This and that. Yeah. I think I might have told you about it. And I was just like, you don't know what the fuck she's got going on. Okay. She has grown more than anybody I've ever seen in my entire life. But even when I did meet you during that time, you were still like top person, like good fucking person, just all around careful, generous, courageous person. And you always have had that like radiance of light beaming from within you. And so it's like whenever people try to say stuff like that, it's like this woman is not just some artist, some sort of person to try. This is somebody who, that's why I like the word activist. Like, you really push what you believe in. You're not afraid of telling anybody. No. Like, I've seen you before at the little open mic, just like something for fun, and then your prayer alarm will go off, and you made everybody engage in the prayer with you. But see, that's because you're you, and you're so unapologetically you. Like, I've always struggled with like being in my shell and not wanting to go out and really say much, and then just being around you has helped me. Like, I don't give a fuck what these people have to say because you don't give a single fuck.
It came from solitude. Anybody that can be alone, a lot of people cannot be alone. They have codependency issues. But anybody that could be alone is a powerful person. They don't mind standing alone. They don't mind if everybody in the room say yes, they're going to stand on their no. And part of me not giving a fuck, it's kind of like, when you go to church and you see somebody praising like a madman, that person is like, I don't give a fuck because you could look at me and I don't look like what I've been through. But when I look back at all the shit that I made it through, I have the right to not give a fuck. Like, I have the right to be proud of the person that I am today, whether nobody else is proud about it or not. I'm proud about it. I have the right to celebrate my life because I know people who hasn't made it past 16.
Absolutely.
So if you hate your life, what that got to do with me?
Okay. Period.
Like, what that got to do with me? But I appreciate those words, though.
And I'll say too, like, I don't even like know you, but like just having this little moment with you on a podcast, like I can feel your energy. Like, and to the person who did say that about her, like, I'm just gonna say that clearly says more about you than it does her. Because
that person doesn't know me.
Period.
Anybody, I always say this. But I always be like this. Listen, if somebody wants to talk about me and they call me Congo, they don't know me.
Especially when this person tried to tell me about you and didn't know nothing about you.
He doesn't even know my name.
You're not going to tell me about her. You're not going to tell me about Lydia. You're not going to tell me about Congo. I know Congo. Like, I know you.
And then I always say too, if they're gonna say it, at least it's because they respect you enough, okay, to not say it to your face.
No, that right there is true. That right there is true. But I don't mind being talked about because, like, I look at it like this.
That's how you get your name around.
Like, right. I'd rather be the person being talked about than the miserable person talking about somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to get this fucking soundboard working because that's that shit.
Right. Let me put it in edit.
Put it in edit.
Like, okay.
Just making more editing work for you.
No, I like it. That's so true. Oh my God.
But what corrupted me though, like what, that person that I used to be is like, light shines the brightest in the dark. I spent a lot of time in the dark, but that means like I surrounded myself around shitty people. I've always surrounded myself around shitty people. Those people don't uplift me. They tear me down. Those people are the people like the devil uses to harden your heart. Somebody that has a good heart, people tend to harden it. Somebody does you wrong and it's just like, I'm never going to help somebody again.
I know, right?
Right.
And why you got to hold all that?
Right. And so it was a awakening moment of, what? Like, it's the people I'm surrounding myself with.
Is that too because I was going to ask you this too, like that, because you went from like at the beginning of like, I was just angry with God to like being like thank you God, like I appreciate, like going to that. What really happened? I guess what was the critical point of you having that change? Was it like being incarcerated and all that too? Or would you say it was more?
It's actually a simple answer. It was expressing myself. one thing about God, you know, he knows your heart.
Yes.
And we try to pretend because he's God, we don't have the right to be angry with him.
Right.
So it's like, oh, I'm not angry with you, but in your heart you are.
Yeah.
So I had to express that. I had to let him know, like, bro, I like, what? I had to express it. And like, when I express it, his answer is just what brought me peace. But his answer was like, I know. Like, I know. I just wanted you to know. But I know. And it's okay. It's okay, literally. So I just try to take that mindset and just, you know, be that example of who God is. So it's like, anybody's angry with me, I want you to be able to express that to me and tell me, because the truth is, like the energy reading thing that I took, I know.
Right.
I know.
I'm just waiting for you to tell me.
I'm just waiting. Exactly. I was waiting for you to express it, because one thing that, like, it kind of, this irks my nerves, but it irks my nerves when, like, how can I say this in a way that it doesn't sound like I'm selfish? It irks my nerves when
I say just say it.
People that I surround myself with, people that I care about, are afraid of me. Like, are they afraid to tell me how they feel? They're afraid to correct me. They're afraid to say what they got to say. Like, what are you afraid of?
Yeah,
because if you're afraid, it's because you think I'm somebody that I'm not. You think that I'm somebody that's gonna lash out on you. You think I'm somebody that's gonna come combat and defend myself. Right. When the truth is, if you honestly knew who I was, you should not be afraid.
Right. But you know what? Even if you were that type of person, if you love somebody and care about somebody, it's your due diligence to correct them. It's your due diligence. If they get mad, they're going to get mad. If they actually love you, they're not going to get mad, or at least they're going to take the time to think about it and dwell on it and be like, you know what? I thought about what you said, and, you know, have a conversation with you if somebody actually cares about you.
That relationship is going to hold more weight than the emotion, I think.
Like, I'm going through it with a lifelong friend right now, and the truth is, like, of course we hang around the same people. We grew up together, but I'm not gonna respect or receive anything I'm hearing from other people when we were so close that if you had any animosity towards me because I took my space to heal, you should feel comfortable enough to tell me because of how close we is. Yeah. But the fact that you don't proves that, like, you don't know me for real.
Right.
Like, you probably know who I was, but you don't know who
Yeah. If somebody's not willing to, like, communicate with you after you hold them accountable for something, and they're not wanting to, like, talk to you about that and, like, try to understand you and reason, even if they don't particularly agree with it, that person, they just lash out on you, they don't love you. Yeah.
One thing I always say about maturity, because it's like, this is my definition of maturity. Maturity is one, communication, but in that communication, it's not trying to prove I'm right, I'm wrong, but it's just trying to understand. Maturity is understanding. Like, if I have a conversation with you, I'm not trying to prove that I'm right. I'm not trying to prove that you're wrong. I'm just trying to understand you.
Yes.
I may not agree with what you're saying, but do I understand what you're saying? That's it.
Right. And having that openness to communicate.
Right. Heavy on openness.
And when it comes to, like, your activism, it's like, it comes so naturally with you. Like, was there ever, like, a decision making when it came to that, or did it just come out of you? Because, like, I've always seen you be that person to push, you know, what you what you believe in, like, push it in a sense of, like, hey, we need to give this attention. We need to notice this.
You know, through everything that I've been through, I never, ever, ever, ever want nobody to ever feel the way that I felt. And so I've always been that person, even growing up, to defend others. Mm-hmm. Like it's not like I won't defend myself, but I'm quicker to defend somebody else. Like, everything I do, literally everything I do, my mom always told me this, but it's for other people. Like, even with me being in school right now, you think I'm doing that for myself? I don't want to do that. I want to do music. but I'm doing it for other people. So it's just like when you your whole life is just, you know, you on this journey trying to find your purpose. But God's told me, like, bro, your purpose is the name that I've given you, the name people know you by, to spread awareness to what's going on in Congo, to where you're from. Like, save your people, because they're going through it. They pray to the same God. And it's like the story of Moses. You know, even though Moses was born an Israelite, he was raised with the Egyptians. Even though I was born Congolese, bro, I was raised with the Americans. And you got to ask yourself, why did God do it like that? Because if I was to stay in Congo, I would have never thought that this was possible. I would have never seen it. I would have thought that, I would have never been able to believe that there is more out there. And that's the same thing. If Moses was to stay with the Israelites, he would have thought that slavery was all that they had. That, at least they were being fed. At least they were being this. He wouldn't have that open mind to know that there is more. But God chose him to go be raised with the Egyptians so that he can see that there is more. That he could see that, like there is a life outside of this and it's possible to live it because I'm living it. So let me go back and tell my people. That's the same thing for me. There is a place where electricity is on for 24 hours every day. This is possible. Now let me go back and tell my people, like, you guys, this is possible. Like,
even for a second, I was like, wait, that sounds amazing. I'm like, oh.
Right, like this is possible. And God, the person that's going to lead Congo out of captivity is somebody that knows and believes this is possible. And it's somebody like me because I've seen it. Like I was blessed to see it. A lot of people, they see it and they think it's enough because they made it out. But how many people do you know courageous enough, don't give a fuck enough to say, I'm going to go back for my people.
And still have feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Yeah. Like to actually watch it. Like, I don't cry about a lot of stuff, but when I watch what's going on in Congo, it really hit hard. It really hit heavy. It really hit heavy as hell. To know, it really hit heavy as hell. I cry every single time I watch it. Even like last time that my mom went a couple months ago, she was telling me about the kids on the street and stuff like that. And it's just like, here I see grown men on the street, but to see kids on the street with no family, to know that there's a lot of orphans because their parents was killed to like gun violence. And it's not even gun violence. They're a little bit ruthless over there, like machetes, rape, beheadings. Yeah. And they don't have no kids. It just like, I can relate to that struggle due to the fact that, for a moment of my life, I felt like I didn't have no parents. They disowned me. I was on my own. I know what it feels like to be on their own, and I don't want nobody to ever feel that feeling. So by any means possible, like I'm going to step in and, be that person that I wish somebody was for me. Be that person that Tijuana Brown was for me. Give back the blessing that was given to me. And it's like my brother always says, like, you could either, sit down, talk about history, or you could go out there, make history, be history.
Amen to that.
And in life, everybody wants to be a part of something bigger than them. And the truth is, the promise that Jesus made on the cross is that we all gonna die. But to me, I want to die for something. I don't want to just die because I just died, like doing something. No, I want to die for. Right. I want to die for something. Like my death, like, Jesus died for us. So what makes you think that we don't have such a purpose on our life that we're to die for something?
Amen.
If you stand for, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And I stand for Congo. So I'm not going to fall for just anything.
Amen to that.
No, that's amazing. And like, I'm so happy and so proud of how far you've come with it too. Like to see you on the news now, like to see you in like press conferences, like talking about this is like, I mean, it's incredible. And like, I want you to go to Congress next.
Hell yeah, girl.
Man, I'm running for president in Congo. Vote me, free my people, let my people go. I don't know when, probably when I'm 60.
I'm saying I want you to go talk about this to Congress. Like I want you to like stand. Yeah.
Oh, I was talking about what she was talking about. I was.
I was talking about that too. But I was like, before 60, we need you to talking to Congress today, tomorrow.
The foundation. The foundation of it all starts on the ground. Like once you get into those places of power, it's corrupted.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have that corrupted mindset.
But I will say, because it's almost the same. About what you said, about the same with Americans in terms of power. I don't know how it is with the Congo, but basically old heads in American power. All these old heads in American power, they need to just go ahead and get out. A lot of younger people now are slowly trying to ease their way into these government, into these policies, because that's the only way that's really going to change things. You know what I mean?
It is because
get rid of all that corruption.
It's kind of like they say the new church, the new world.
Yeah.
And I always say this in my prayer, but I pray for the generations before us. Because even though they feel as if they're so wise, there's nothing left to learn. The people that are actually here to teach you, is this generation here right now.
I feel like Gen Z isn't getting enough credit.
They don't, but Gen Z is necessary. It's the first generation that can communicate and see virtually through the whole entire world without having to leave their home. It's the first generation that can say, I talked to somebody all the way in Spain and I can FaceTime them and see what's going on instead of being blinded by false news or books and doctrines of that nature, being fed what you want to be fed. That, like, literally, bro, I bet your grandma asked you how to send an email. Gen Z is the person that can teach you that. Gen Z is the one who knows how to, they've created artificial intelligence. Gen Z is the one who's updating the world to a new world. They're the ones that know how to run it. It can't be a new world run by old people because you don't understand it. You didn't create it.
Let me just we got Gen Z definitely, but we have to include the millennials.
The millennials,
yes, okay, because Gen Z, I love my little brothers and sisters to death, and while it's so true, I mean, there's stuff when it comes to technology they didn't show me how to do. I'm like, girl, like I didn't even know.
He's older than us. That's why.
I was like,
well, don't forget about the millennials.
No, but basically, like what I'm saying is like Gen Z. I mean, these are some emotional motherfuckers too. I mean, just some emotional. Like they just want everything so quick and fast. But by having millennials there too, you got those people there that just transition that age of technology, but also have that sense of communication, talking with people, having that sense of expressing themselves.
And that's where it falls into the each one teach one.
Yes.
Because I can say, like, cons, there's pros and cons about Gen Z, and one of the cons is communication. Because of the rise of social media, they don't really know how to be social. And it's like this sign I saw, like, talk is free, so be social.
It's weird because it's like they all seem to like to talk about how they wish that there was more social interaction, but sometimes it's like you might be like in the elevator or something, and you say something to someone that just side eye you or something.
Like this.
Yeah, and it's like
you go out. Like, I thought going out was about being social and meeting new people, but instead it's this.
Is that
yeah? It's like, what are you doing? I got my phone too.
Like,
but yeah, no, like it's so weird, and I saw this statistic too when it comes to the dating scene. Apparently, it's something like 75% of women wish that they were approached more by men, whereas only 55% of men actually have recently approached a woman. And at first I was like, damn, like what's up with these guys?
No,
like, y'all
it's because back in the day, it was rare to see a bad bitch. You had to kind of see one. Now
that's not true at all.
Now if you scroll, you can just see.
Nah, that's not true at all. You know how I know it's not true? Because
magazines.
if you look at like a video of like the beach or something in the 80s, like everybody was bad. I shit you not.
But don't you think like you would have to leave your house to see that?
Well, yeah, leave your house, but everyone left the house.
You don't have to leave the house to see a bad bitch.
What are you talking about? Nowadays, yeah. I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
But
you don't have to go out there and put yourself out there and be social to see a bad bitch.
Here's the thing. So but listen. So here's the thing, right? So as for like dudes, when I talk to them about what I just told you, a lot of them say it's because a lot of women are so socially awkward because it's like they say they want to be approached, but when they get approached, it's side eye on the phone. Like they don't have any social skills.
Yeah, they don't.
I mean, I can see that though, because like I said, every time I even talk to some dudes in my like community or whatever, just like small talk or like a sly joke or something, it's just side eye or on the phone. Not all the time. There's plenty of people that I've been able to talk to that open up. But it's to the point now to where we don't even order McDonald's anymore in the line. Now they got the fucking kiosk so you don't have to talk to anybody.
Just so you don't have to talk. Yeah.
Like,
you gotta find that right.
But this Generation Z, every generation has its own plague, has their own fight that they have to fight.
Of course.
But the plague of Generation Z is loneliness.
I agree.
Like this generation is plagued with loneliness. Why? Is because they wear their heart on their sleeve to a device that has no feelings.
Amen to that.
Like the social battery is zero. It's literally a phone battery. And
on top of that, their minds, when they see so much social media is not real life.
It's not. People post their highlights.
Exactly. And
they're getting true.
Exactly. And they're getting their viewpoint of people as a whole and as a mass from social media, and it deludes them. So now when they do go outside and they look around the world around them, it's all black and white because of what they see on social media all the time. It's not like that.
Because social media was, you can use it as a tool. It's like two sides to everything. You can either be a consumer or a producer. And a lot of the times, you are probably a consumer of the content instead of a producer of the content.
Are you using your phone with your phone using you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know some people who use their phones, like Astro, he uses it for like photography. Like
Right.
he uses it as a tool.
He does, yeah.
He uses it as a tool.
He does. Yeah. Astral God Edge is like the best videographer, like one of the best videographers in Charlotte, if not the.
Oh yeah. Give him props. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. So we gotta know what's next for you.
Clock that tea.
I just learned about this.
You just
What's
learned
that?
clock that tea.
What's that?
See, clock that tea.
Where have I been?
Clock it. I don't know. I go to school with young people, so I learned it at school. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm around old heads all the time. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Clock that T.
That's weird. So what?
I like
So
it though. It's quiet.
Why not just clap?
Because it's loud.
Clock. Yeah, you don't want to interrupt the conversation, so it's just like you preaching. Clock that.
You know that's a satanic hand symbol you're doing. This right here.
I would never do clock that tea again.
The Baphomet. You see the horns and the goat head?
I am weak.
I would never clock. shit.
So, did you know that I found out last night that almost every single U.S. president is related? They all share a common ancestor. Who
Barack
was a king.
Obama is related to Donald Trump.
I think Barack Obama might be on that
I
list.
am so weak.
He's on that
was like
list.
perfect.
Nah, so every single U.S. president, it was in 2009, this 12-year-old girl found out.
Oh,
like she did this thing. Like, with the help of her grandparents, spent the whole summer doing this.
They was bored as
finding
hell.
out that finding out, chasing genealogy, finding out that every U.S. president is related, except for like I think it was like Martin Van Buren.
Yeah, it was like a
and
couple.
I think Joe Biden might not be on that list, but Obama and Trump are on there. And what's crazy is this list was made in 2009, so the most recent president was Obama. And so they did it recently, and yeah, Trump is on there too. And they all related to the same king in England, King John. It starts with a B. I'm gonna find out, but excuse me. He was
a B or V.
A B. I swear, if you fucking know on top of your head, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Probably not.
But he was actually known to be like a
Bangladesh.
Nah, it was like
I was gonna say John Bugatti.
I'm gonna find out since y'all want to know so bad. I think is it Lackland? Which king of it was it just says King John Lackland. Yeah, so it was Lackland. And he was actually like well known to be like a awful king too. Like
How the hell do you spell his name?
Lackland?
John
John Lackland.
I thought he said a B.
That's why I thought.
Oh yeah, I misspoke. But yeah,
Where's the button? Cap.
But yeah, I just thought that was crazy as shit. But shit, well, no, like what is next for you though? Like, when it comes to all things like activism, artistry.
What is next? Okay, so this is next, right? Next is the Congo experience.
We've been talking about this for a long time.
Next is the Congo experience.
What is that?
But
What is it,
I'm
Congo?
starting to get an understanding of God's plan.
Amen.
So, I do hair right now, but I'm also in cosmetology school to obtain my license. But I'm not obtaining the license to do hair because I already do it.
And you're really good at it.
I'm obtaining the license to create opportunity. But the opportunity is bigger than I ever imagined. The opportunity is to open up the Congo experience, and in this experience, it's not like any other salon you ever been to. Because in this experience, when you come in, it's kind of like it intertwines with my nonprofit organization and the things that we do and we push and we strive for, and that is to bridge the gap of knowledge between African and African American. Donald Trump right now is taking out certain African history so that you don't know it. But at the Congo experience, the experience is what you're paying for. You can sit there and get your hair done, but at this salon, we have tablets that teach you French. So if you ever want to go back home, you know the language. We have tablets that teach you about the culture, about, where you're from, about Africa. We have people that teach you things there. We do things for the community of that nature. I'm presenting opportunities to my people because a lot of people, minorities here, it's hard for them to find a job. But if I open up that space willingly, I am willing to hire anybody that if you don't know how to do hair, I would teach you. Just so that you could be put in a position to help other people. And as the Congo experience grows, it will shed light to the Congo. It will give people the knowledge that they need to know to go back and create opportunities for other people. It will show you that $1,000 is $500,000 Congolese francs, and you need to go invest in land where you don't pay taxes. You need to have your escape plan because America will not be great forever. And so it's preparing people for that escape plan just by what you thought was coming to get your hair done was honestly you coming to learn something that was bigger than you. Yeah. I just want to build that invisible bridge, that gap. And the only way to build it is with knowledge because a lot of people are not open. There's that gap of, I can't move to another country because I don't speak that language. I can't move there because I don't know anybody. I can't move there because I don't know how things work. But if you knew better, you would do better. And so why not just be that person that helps people to know better? I'm not going to gatekeep nothing. Like, I'm going to help you to know better. I'm going to help you to know the things they don't want you to know so that you could take advantage and create opportunities. A lot of people pray for opportunities, but I think the prayer point needs to change to, God, let me be the one to create opportunities. So I want to put people in position to create opportunities.
Amen. I love that.
I do too. Yes.
I love that. Well, shit. Congo, Lydia, Senge, you
maniac.
Like I said, that's a new one.
R.I.P. I had a jingle with it too. It was like La Maniac, yeah, that's me. La Maniac, yeah, that's me. Okay. And I just come terrorizing shit.
Ain't no
you don't know
way.
that is a real song yet on your thing?
I have like this, when I started rapping, because, rap is more so anger, I was Lil Maniac. So I used to write stuff like, Lil Maniac, yeah, that's me. They say my flow is really dope, so let me spit on this beat. They know I get down and dirty, so let me keep the shit sweet. They say they banging that slime. Where the nigga, who you be? Let me make this fucking clear, I'm banging the east. I can't fuck with no little nigga that ain't a freak in the sheets. Gotta treat me like a lady, make me feel like a queen. And when it come down to the race, I'm chasing the dream. Yeah, I got bars. I did my time behind bars. When I was sitting behind the bars, I wrote them bars that go hard. I'm a boss, I'm in charge. I get the money regard. Go ahead and salute me, pussy bitch, because in the streets I'm your sergeant.
Okay. What
the Maniac is like ghetto. Your
she
NBA
was never dead,
young
y'all.
boy.
She was never dead. She just be coming out when she wants to at the right moments. Okay, she ain't going nowhere.
I hope she don't come out. She be terrorizing shit. Terrorizing it.
That's amazing. So
You ready?
Where can they find you at?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Miss Congo. That's ms.congo and Congo. What's her name?
Oh, fuck, I love that.
Congo, you are the best. You are the best. And before we wrap this up, we have a song for you.
Here's the surprise I was talking about earlier.
All right, what is it? Finna beat my meat. About to beat my meat.
Two unlikely friends.
This is our theme song.
Oh, yes.
Black guy, musician,
Comedian. Straight. And gay.
Put your own rhyme in it. You can do it. Go ahead.
It's the pod couple. It's the pod couple. It's the pod couple.
Well, Congo.
It's the pod couple. We chillin' at jam box. It's the pod couple. I don't know. Okay. They want to put me on the spot to spit some shit, but I don't really know, so I'm gonna say fuck this shit.
That gotta work.
I'm not a rapper.
Hey, that was kind of hard though. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm not a
She bounced that
rapper.
off of that pretty quick.
I'm not a rapper.
That was fire as fuck. But we are out of here. That was a great episode.
I'm not a rapper. Y'all put me on the spot. I see why you ain't want to tell me.
All right.
white guy.